hit record so we can really dig in here. All right. So, taking back the market, how to win in real estate. My good friends, welcome. My name's Alfonso Cuadra, and I will be your trainer for today. They call me the Godfather of real estate, and you will find out why. So, just before this, I was sharing with you a video of the Wealth Genius podcast. So, what I want you guys to do is to make sure that you follow the Wealth Genius podcast, take a screenshot, take your phone, put it to the screen, whether you're following us on Apple Podcast or Spotify or YouTube or Audible, wherever you listen to your podcasts. That's exactly where you'll find us. We're going after 1 million downloads this year, and we're at 70 um, episodes, and the show just continues to pick up momentum. We have a lot of great people coming on the show, so um, follow us, and make sure you get all the latest updates, and you don't want to miss it. You do not want to miss this. Um, we're excited because currently we are going through the biggest wealth transfer in human history, the greatest wealth transfer in human history. And for a lot of you are very distracted, and I get it. I get why you're distracted. But if you didn't know this, for the past couple of years, and uh, we've all been feeling it. Obviously, we've picked up a lot of portfolios from baby boomers. Baby boomers, and which is this population segment that has impacted every industry from the moment they were born, now are exiting portfolios, exiting businesses, and unfortunately, exiting life. And so, there's this massive opportunity that not a lot of people are talking about, but we are going through one of the biggest wealth transfers in human history. And you need to decide on what side of that wealth transfer do you want to be on. I get it. There's a lot of news out there. There's a lot of media out there that is pushing a narrative, and it's distracting people. But that's good. That's good for you, because while other people are distracted, you could be building your wealth. And especially right now, where we are in this moment in time, there is more opportunity right now than there's ever been. And we'll talk about that as well. But I get it. We don't know what's going on. We don't know if the tariffs are on or off, the taxes are on or off. We don't know what's going on. Are the taxes on or the taxes off? We don't know. We just don't know. But a lot of the news is keeping you very distracted. And so if you're paying attention to the news, if you are if you're worried about Epstein and baby oil and what's going on overseas, and Trump tweeted this, Trump tweeted that, none of that is going to pay you, and none of that is going to help you achieve financial freedom. So that's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about financial freedom. We want to talk about taking you to the next level. We are currently living through the best of times, and most people are not paying attention. There's a lot of uncertainty there, economic uncertainty. There is a lot of people that are distracted. But right now, we are currently living through the best of times. And so we're excited about this. And the objective of this hour that we're going to be spending together, it's going to be very simple. I want to make sure I can open your eyes and I can help you get closer to financial freedom. My vision is to help as many people and inspire them to achieve financial freedom. And there's three freedoms. The first freedom, financial freedom. That's the one that you need to conquer first, because financial freedom means you don't have to worry about where how you're going to pay your next bills. The second one is um, time freedom. Once you got your financial freedom, that means that you don't have to go to a job. You don't have to report to a place. And so now you got time freedom to do what you want, when you want, with whom you want, however long you want. And then the last one, location freedom. geographical freedom, going anywhere, being able to, still make money and do it from anywhere. Warren Buffett said, if you don't figure out how to make money while you sleep, you'll have to work until you die. And so, for a lot of people right now, there's a market sentiment, and I'm here. I'm here from a position of service. I don't have to be here. I want to be here to help as many people as possible. Here's what I know: $124 trillion in assets is set to change hands in the upcoming years. 124 trillion. Some of that money will go to the next generation, but for the very first time, the average person, someone like you, has a chance to generate wealth. And I'm excited about that. My wife and I, we are currently getting set to buy millions of dollars of real estate. If you're taking notes, we have about a 3 month window here, my friends. We have a 3 month window where by the time these 3 months are done, we will look back in hindsight at this last quarter of 2025 as the quarter that offered the most opportunity. And I want you to be on the right side of that. So, what are we going to be talking about today? We're going to be talking about tariffs and real estate and the market. We're going to get into how to build wealth. How to build wealth. We're going to turn the chaos into cash flow. We're going to go into some specific strategies because guess what? Uh, Different times require different types of strategies, and so we're going to talk about multifamily and the power of multifamily. We're going to talk about mindset. We're going to talk about what to do right now. We're going to talk about scaling your business. We're going to talk about creative deal structures and financing and land development. We'll try to get it all done within the hour. In the hour, I promise I won't be more than an hour here, but there's a lot of stuff to cover, and we'll also have some case studies. For those of you that are excited about what's happening in the market today, we will not be able to solve the world's problems right now. But here's what I'll tell you. If you stick around, I will be talking about our 5 different 3-day boot camps, 3-day intensive boot camps that we have coming up in October. And one of them is in Vaughan. And I saw some people there from the GTA, so we're excited about that. So, they call me the Godfather of real estate primarily because I've been doing this for a very long time. I should be called the grandfather of real estate, but maybe I'm just too young for that. I've been in business for now over 30 years. I started my business back in 1995. Guess what? When I started my business in 1995, it was in the middle of a recession. And people say, you can't start a business. There's a recession. And I always tell people, thank God I didn't know the meaning of the word. It might have stopped me, right? And so, I started in 1995. I was able to grow with the economy, grow my business, and I built several multi-million dollar businesses across Canada and the US. About 26 plus years ago, I got into real estate full time, and my wife and I, we've been able to build a multi-million dollar real estate portfolio across Canada and the US. And we're proud of that because, I came to Canada as a refugee. My mom had $30 in her purse, and, I didn't. I didn't have money. I grew up on welfare, right? And for someone to go from social housing to owning millions and millions of dollars of real estate and achieving complete financial freedom, complete time freedom, and complete location freedom, to me, there's something to be said, and I think anybody can do it because if I can do it, you can do it. And so I'm excited to share a little bit of that today. I am 48 years old, and 18 plus years ago, so I was around 30 years old, I sold my companies and because of my real estate, I was financially free. I had financial freedom, time freedom, and location freedom. And I made a decision a long time ago that I was going to spend the rest of my life helping as many people as possible achieve financial freedom. That's when I started speaking, mentoring, coaching. And as a result, I've had the opportunity of teaching thousands and thousands of investors all over North America. And I've created thousands of millionaires across North America. And the reason I share this with you is because I'm extremely proud of the impact that I've had in people's lives. You know, that's why I do this. I want to help as many people as possible achieve financial freedom. I had one of my students send me a text a couple of months ago, and he said, "Because of what I've learned from you, Alfonso, I get to spend the mornings with my son every single day." And so to me, that's what time is about. I'm not doing this so you can buy more Ferraris or super yachts, even though that stuff is fine. I'm doing this so you can achieve financial freedom. And I know that you're going to do amazing things with your time. All right. So stay connected. Connect with me. This is my Instagram account, and I'm going to say this. A lot of times when people watch me present somewhere, they'll they will they will go and find me online, and there's so many fake accounts. It's unreal. And so this is the only account that I have. Please note, I will never, ever, ever try to sell you Bitcoin. I will never, ever, ever try to sell you Bitcoin. So I'll leave this here for a second. I'll let you screenshot it, take a picture with your phone. Follow me, send me a DM, say, Alfonso, we made a taking back the market last night or today or whatever. And send me a little note where you're from. I will follow you back and let's connect. If you ever need my help for anything, let's connect. All right. So a lot of people, right now they're concerned about tariffs and what's going to be the impact on real estate. I mean, to me, there is a lot of positives as well in terms of real estate, and we'll go through that. You know, a lot of people tend to harp on the negatives. I remember March 2020 when we got introduced to COVID-19. COVID-19. I'll never forget it. You know, people were running out to buy toilet paper. Really? Toilet paper? That's what you were looking for? Toilet paper? That's what people did. They went out and bought, lots of toilet paper, and people were freaking out. You know, it was something that was new. We never heard about COVID-19 before. People felt like they had no control. They panicked. They were scared. Media took over. People started to freeze. There was a lot of uncertainty. And while everybody was going to hide, what I knew was that real estate was on sale, baby. And we were expecting this, but we weren't expecting it to be this good. And so um, real estate, there was so many opportunities. And my wife and I, during that time, in that little window of opportunity, we bought millions of dollars of real estate that doubled, even and tripled in price. What we know as investors is that you're going to have certain market cycles. And the beauty about these market cycles is that you can kind of predict when they're going to come. And as an investor, you have to be willing to do the things that other people are not willing to do so you can live the kind of life that other people wish they had. And so, we understand how market cycles work. And when the market becomes soft, things make sense again. Sellers are flexible. They're willing to offer creative strategies and offer incentives. Now, I went online, and if you haven't followed me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, I suggest you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I went online and I started to share with as many people as possible. This is why I'm so excited about, coming to share this with you today. I'm here from a position of service. I want to help as many people as possible. And back in 2020, I jumped online and I started sharing with people everything that I was doing. And a lot of people, they loved it. They loved what I was doing. What I was. Some people followed and they took action. Some people, they were a little bit nasty, right? And when you put yourself out there, just like I'm putting myself out here right now, you leave yourself a little bit vulnerable to the market, and I'm okay with that. I had to grow thick skin, even though that I wasn't used to YouTube before. But people were nasty. This guy says, "Dude, you should get a real job like the rest of us," and I get it. People are distracted. People are distracted, and it's exactly where people are right now. Warren Buffett said, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful." So back in 2021, it was not the time to get started in real estate. Back in early 2022 was not the time. The time is now, especially in the GTA area. If you're in the GTA area, we're going to have a boot camp coming up and we're going to show you. We have lots of boot camps coming up, but we're going to show you exactly why your market right now it's set for opportunity. You just got to come and learn the right strategies. So we do have a real estate investor accelerator. It's a 3-day intensive boot camp where we're going to teach you the strategies that are working right now. We're going to go into multifamily. We're going to go into land development. We're going to go into taking everything you're going to learn and investing it into the US. We're going to show you how to do this with other people's money, other people's credit, and other people's time. We're going to show you how to raise capital. So we have a few events. One of them is in Vaughan, and so I don't want you guys to miss it. Make sure you put the date down, Vaughan, October 10 to 12. In fact, today I will be sharing with you 5 different events, 5 different boot camps that are coming up from Edmonton. We have a virtual event coming up, Vaughan, Montreal, and Surrey. So if you are wanting to invest in real estate, if you're wanting to take your business to the next level, these boot camps are going to help you do that. This is Mike. Mike actually bought a 4-unit apartment building after coming to the boot camp. Around 6 months after that, he bought his first 4-unit multifamily. He's 21 years old. We have changed the trajectory of this young man's life. And so let's talk a little bit about before 2025. So in 2024, there was a bit of a lull. In 2024, people were scared. In 2024, the interest rates were out of control, and we did not see an end in sight. But us investing in real estate, we knew that 2025 would bring about massive opportunity. And we knew it did. We got this beautiful gift, which is tariffs. And because of the tariffs, it kind of um, expedited expedited the process. Early March of 2025, as Trump was talking about tariffs, this and that, people felt like they have no control. They started to panic. They started to get scared. Media took over. Hey, guess what? Does that sound familiar? Absolutely. It sounds familiar to what it was back in 2020. And what people did not notice is that there's massive opportunities right now. Now, as an investor, we were hoping they would hold off on cutting the rates so we can take more advantage of all of the opportunities right now. But Bank of Canada came in, they dropped the rates again. So that makes it that that compresses the time that we have available in terms of taking massive action. And so I'm going to say these next 3 months in the last quarter of 2025 are crucial. And you have to come and learn to take action. You have to come and learn the right strategies. You have to come and learn what exactly the wealthy are doing right now. Now, the other thing is, back in 2024, they were gonna they announced that they were increasing the capital gains to from 50% to 66.6%. Because of this beautiful gift of tariffs, uh, they actually delayed it into 2026, which means that if you're selling your property, you're going to sell it right now. And what's going to happen is when they go back to their initial what their initial plan of increasing the capital gains tax in 2026, along with cheap money and people pulling their real estate off the market, it's going to increase the prices. You see, this is why these next 3 months are so important. And when you look back in hindsight, you will see that you there's massive opportunity that's happening right now. Now, um, just a quick search on commercial real estate. I can already see there's double the inventory right now from 2024. And so there's cheap interest rates and double the inventory, which means that right now it's the opportunity, guys. I can't stress this enough. Real estate, there's a big opportunity. And what you're going to do when you come to my event in any of the boot camps in October, we're going to go through exactly all the strategies on how to optimize and maximize everything that's happening in this market. So here's the truth. How we still are going through a housing crisis. 5 million homes are still needed by 2030, and we're not even come, we haven't even come close to being on target. And so housing is there's still a massive demand, but right now media's got you distracted. And so the people that are investors, number one, they want to don't take your eye off the ball, right? You still got to take care of your portfolio. Right now, it's a time to look at your existing portfolio if you've been doing this a while and maximize and optimize everything you have. And then make sure that you get ready for all of the opportunities that are coming our way. So the key to success, my friends, is in positioning yourself in front of a wave. The key to success is in positioning yourself in front of a wave. That wave is coming. And when you come to that boot camp, we're going to show you exactly what are the steps that you need to take in order to be right in front of that wave. So your biggest expense, my friends, isn't your rent or your taxes or your mortgage. It's lost opportunities, not taking action when you know you should have taken action. And guess what? If you can go back in time and talk to yourself back during COVID times, what would you say to yourself to do more of? You would probably say, hey, buy more. And so imagine if someone came from the future, 2030, to talk to you right now, what's going on in 2025? I bet you would say to yourself, buy more. And so your biggest expense is actually not taking action when you know you should have taken action. Now, the issue is that people tend to take the wrong actions. Different times require different strategies. The single family home at one point, you know, might have made sense. That single family home at one point, you could say, yeah, there's enough income coming in to service all the expenses and still have some money left over. Those days are gone. The single family home pretty much sucks all of your capital. And there's a reason for that. And so, what we want to do is we want to show you the differences between the old strategies of buying a single family home to adopting brand new strategies like multifamily. Now, the issue with the single family home is simply that inflation we've gone through high inflation in the past couple of years, which has made that single family home completely unaffordable. Not only that, it's got a lot of leaks. You got to pay taxes, you got to pay gas, you got to pay the electric bill, you got to pay the mortgage, you got to pay the insurance, you got to pay the repairs and maintenance, you got to pay pay lawn and snow, you got to pay property management, you got to pay your vacancy, you got to pay the water bill. And I can go on and on and on with all the leaks that this house has. And the issue is that you only really have one tenant, which means that you only really have one income. You are not tapping into the economies of scale. You simply have one customer, and if that customer leaves, you are now 100% vacant. The beauty about multifamily is that with more customers, more tenants, there's more money coming in to service all of these expenses. And so now it makes more sense as an investment, and it makes more sense as a, as a business because now you're tapping into the economies of scale. And the beauty about multifamily is that when we're talking about risk and going through economic uncertainty or economic downturns or crisis or recessions, multifamily has always outperformed any other asset class when it comes to these economic downturns. Well, when you look at it, you know, and if you look at this scenario, there's no room for mistakes, and the bank is going to hold you responsible. Do you know that to qualify for a mortgage for a single family home, they got to look at your debt to income ratio? To qualify for a multifamily apartment building, they look at the DCR, the debt coverage ratio. So basically, they want to know how much income is coming in from all of the rents that you're collecting, and can you service the expenses from the income? So can you pay all the expenses, all of these leaks, and can you still cover the debt payment? That is the main focus of the lender. They're going to lend based on the DCR, the debt coverage ratio. They're not looking at your T4, they're not looking at your situation and all, they might take you into consideration, but they're primarily focused on the asset itself. Can the asset support itself? Because look at this. This single family house with all of these expenses, when you barely have any income coming in to be able to service these expenses. If something happens to you, the bank is left holding the bag. So it's actually easier to finance because you have more customers, more money coming in. It's easier to manage because now you can hire someone to manage that property, because there's enough money coming in to hire a property manager, a caretaker on site. Everything just makes more sense. And you reduce the risk because multifamilies don't have to be sold during times of economic downturns. Because if you sell, that's when you lock in your that's when you lock in your losses if there's during economic downturns. So why multifamily? Well, higher income, lower cost, volume. You're tapping into the from a volume perspective. Lower vacancy rates, and when someone moves out, you're in a single family house, you're 100% vacant. If someone moves out of one of my 60 unit apartment buildings, it's a non-event. So forced appreciation, value add strategy, we love that, and stability in value. Um, Insulated from the market volatility because you're not selling, right? You're not in a position where you need to sell. You have multiple different profit centers. This is something that we love about multifamily. Not only are you going to receive the cash flow from the property, but you're also going to experience significant pay down. In fact, your tenants are going to help you pay down your mortgage. You also have natural appreciation, right? And forced appreciation. So those are profit centers that are happening whether you um, you know whether you do anything to the property, they're happening passively behind the scenes. And so let's just take a moment here. We've talked about tariffs and how to build wealth and how to turn chaos into cash flow, and we've talked about why multifamily and mindset. I'm going to take a pause here, and I'm going to get into the five. I'm going to talk about the five 3-day boot camps that we have coming up in October, And once I'm done sharing that with you, I'm going to go back into what to do now, how to scale your business, and how to create, deal structures and land development. And we'll go through some case studies. So I know a lot of people are wanting to know about um, our boot camps coming up. I want to make sure I can share that with you so you don't miss it. And then instantly, I'm going to come back with what to do now, scaling your business, financing and land development. And I know that you're going to be excited about that. And we'll have some case studies as well. So we got five different boot camps coming up. Edmonton, which is October 3rd to the 5th. We have a virtual boot camp, which is 9 to the 7 to the 9th. We have a Vaughan boot camp, which is October 10th to the 12th. And then Montreal, Les Belles Provinces. So if you're anywhere in the Montreal area, we're going to be there October 17th to 19th. And then Surrey, October 24th to 26. So let's talk about this for just a moment. This is our philosophy. We believe in mindset, knowledge, and action. This is Luis and his wife Tony. They were both government workers. They came to that boot camp. Now they are full-time investors. They've left their government jobs and they are full-time investors. They have never looked back. And they've used all the strategies they've learned at that boot camp to become multifamily investors, to do private lending, and to invest all across North America. So, we're going to go through a 3 day intensive boot camp, which, when people ask me what are the times? Well, the times are 9 to 5, all 3 days. We're going to go through joint ventures, syndications, partnerships. We're going to show you GPLPs. We're going to talk about how to build your own real estate investment trust. We're going to show you how to invest into multifamily, how to build your own land, multifamily and land development, and how you can take some of these strategies and invest in the U.S. We're going to also show you how to raise capital, how to do the BRRRR strategy, the buy, renovate, refi, rent and refi, and repeat strategy with apartment buildings. We're going to show you how to underwrite. We're going to show you how to create a forward agreement to buy a brand new apartment building. We're going to show you how to create value add in multifamily and pull out millions of dollars on the other side that are tax free. We're going to show you how to negotiate, from the purchase price of different deals all across Canada. We're going to show you the top 10 reasons why people need to be investing in multifamily. We're going to show you how to build your own multifamily using the MLI Select program, which is, an amazing program, which is a 95.5 loan to cost program where you can build apartment buildings with only 5% down. We're going to also show you all the strategies that we use to build millions of dollars in equity in this particular market. We're going to show you how to retire completely from your JOB, just over broke, and become full-time investors. We're also going to go through the strategies that you need to know in order to maximize taxes. Again, I'm going to repeat this. I am not a tax strategist or an accountant. I will be simply sharing with you my experience, but we'll show you, tax efficiencies, corporate structures, operating companies, passive companies, family trusts, and we're going to go into all of this stuff in a very deep way. We're going to go very intensive for 3 days, and you need to be there. So the price for a boot camp like this is $1,900. And with an investment of $1,900 to change the entire trajectory of your life, you're not scaring anyone. Now, we do have a promo, and you can write down this promo code right now, Cuadra, Cuadra, and we have an early bird price right now of $387. But I want to do something wild. I want to do something crazy. I appreciate that you've taken your time to come and learn this stuff here today. I'm someone that I lead with service. I'm here from a position of service. My wife and I don't have to work another day in our lives. And so what we're going to do is we're going to drop the price to 87 bucks. $87. Less than dinner for two. Less than dinner for two. In fact, make it for two people. We'll make it for two people. $87. Unreal, unheard of. $87 for two people. The promo code is Quadra, but here's what you're going to get. And you can use this QR code where we have a landing page to any one of the dates that you see there. 3-day intensive training. You're going to get a 20-step walkthrough checklist. You're going to get a personal strategy session. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring professional real estate investors on site to do a professional strategy session with you. We're going to do a portfolio analysis with you, and you're going to leave there with a 90-day action plan. You're going to get a workbook. You're going to get two workbooks. You're going to get to bring a free guest, and all for $87. $87. And so what we've done is we have removed any possible obstacle. If it's the price, we got you. If it's location, we're doing it all across the country. If it's a matter of you can't be there in person, we got you. We got the virtual event. So we have taken all the obstacles out of your way. Only $87. This is the QR code. Take a screenshot. You do not want to miss this opportunity. All of the events, we want it to be intimate events, so we really never have more than 30 people. I can tell you right now, the one in Vaughan is already almost sold out. So I want to make sure that if you're going to come to any one of these events, make sure you pull the trigger right away. We actually have a third virtual, but you'll have to contact me to figure out how to get onto the one in November. But we have one next week, October 7th to 9th. So might as well take action at that point in time. This offer does expire. It expires in the next 48 hours. And so I want to make sure that you take advantage of this offer 48 hours, midnight, and you don't want to miss it. You do not want to miss this offer. Okay, so 5 boot camps. Edmonton. You got Edmonton that's happening this weekend. So come and join me this weekend if you are in the Alberta area. If you are going to tune in virtually, come see me virtually October 7th and 9th next week. You can do it from home. If you are anywhere in the GTA or Ontario area, make your way October 10th to 12th to Vaughan. You will not regret this. If you're coming in from out of town, take a flight, for $87 for two people. You can take a flight, take a cheap flight, Flair Air or one of those other airlines that are really inexpensive. Get a hotel, come in and be fully engaged and focused, and you'll see that it will transform your entire life. If you're in the Ottawa or Montreal area, make your way to Montreal October 17th or 19th. And if you're in Surrey, all the way at the other side of the country, in Surrey, BC, we'll be here October 24th to 26th. You do not want to miss this. All right. So we'll come back and talk about this, guys. I know it's valuable, and I can already see a lot of you bought tickets. So congratulations, guys. Congratulations to everybody that bought tickets. That's incredible. Let me just see. Let me see here. So, okay. So congratulations, Jose. Jose bought her ticket. Congratulations, Peter, Jill bought your ticket. Congratulations, guys. And I see a lot more people buying tickets here. Congratulations. All you got to do is use the QR code and we will see you at one of these events. Anyways, we'll come back to this in a little bit later, but I want to get into the hunting season because right now you're going to see more opportunity than you've ever seen when it comes to real estate. So you want to understand your KPIs. And when you come to that boot camp, we're going to go through what are your key performance indicators, how to create a deal flow management system, how to be very conservative with your numbers. This is not the time to gamble. We want to teach you the fundamentals and we want you to teach you to understand numbers. We're going to teach you underwriting. We are investing for the long term. We're not investing for what's happening today. We're investing for, what's happening 5 or 10 years from now. Surround yourself around positive people. We always want to surround ourselves around like-minded, positive people. When it comes to your deals, you always want to overcapitalize. You don't want to undercapitalize. And so we're going to show you where you're going to get the capital in the first place. Capital is needed. It just doesn't have to come from your pockets. Do not take any type of high interest loans. So these are things that we're not going to teach you to do. We're not going to teach you how to take high interest loans. We're going to show you how to fund your properties. Maybe it's through partnerships, or maybe it's through other private loans, or investors. But we're not going to teach you to take on high interest loans. Ultimately, we are living through the best of times, and these are the times to take action, take action, take action, and get creative. So, what does the road to freedom look like for you? What does that road look like? What do you want to achieve? We talked about the three types of freedom: financial freedom, time freedom, and location freedom. And for me, my freedom allows me to spend time with my family. These are my two girls. Talia, 30 years old. Alicia is 19 years old. I take them by all our properties. We're right in this picture. We're right in front of one of our 44 unit apartment buildings, and I teach them. These are assets, but they're not for you. They're for your kids and your kids of kids of kids. You see, what I believe in is in generational wealth. I want to create generational wealth with my family. I want to transfer not just the assets, but also the mindset that goes along with the assets. And so I want them to understand what freedom means, financial freedom, time freedom, and locational freedom. And I want them to do whatever it is that they want to do with their lives. And we're building this portfolio where ultimately they're going to take it over and then continue to build it to the next, for the next generation. And so this is what real estate has done. It has given me my time to be able to spend time with my family and be in a position of service to others. We just came back from Sierra Leone, um, along with my partner Tara and Freedom Tree. We got the opportunity to do a financial literacy session in Sierra Leone. So if you see that we're all wearing t-shirts there, CYF, Quadra Youth Foundation. This is the foundation that I started back in 2017, sorry. And with the mandate of, teaching financial freedom to young people globally. So we teach financial literacy to young people globally. We went to Sierra Leone. We did this amazing financial literacy event. Not only that, along with Tara and the rest of the community, we're actually building a school in Sierra Leone. And so we're really excited about that. So, what is your goal? What do you want to accomplish? Whatever the goal is, we want you to double the goal and then double it again. We want you to expand. We believe in expansion. Expansion is like this plant. If you're not growing, you are dying. And so you want to expand, you want to stretch, you want to grow, you want to get out of your comfort zone. That's how you go to the next level. And when we talk about expanding mindset, it's like an elastic band. You stretch it to its capacity, and when you let it go, does contract, but it is bigger than it was before. And so if you're not expanding, you are contracting. If you're not growing, you are dying. You want to consistently grow. You want to consistently challenge yourself. You want to consistently go to the next level. This is how you grow. You got to get outside of your comfort zone. To be comfortable is like the kiss of death. And so you have to be willing to do the things that other people are not willing to do today because they're too comfortable, to live the kind of life that you other people wish they had tomorrow. And tomorrow people will look at you and say, "You're lucky. You're so lucky." And so you have to be willing to take action. You have to be determined. And what does determination mean? It means to do what you have to do when you have to do it. No questions asked. That's what true determination means. And so I want you to set big, massive goals for yourselves, but you have to take massive action. That's how you get massive results. Because if you do the same thing you've always done, you will get the same results that you've always gotten. And so something has to change. You got to do something different in order to achieve different results. And so now you're ready to scale your business. And one of the things that we're going to teach you to do when you come to those 3 days is we're going to show you how to buy apartment buildings just like this, whether they're brand new, whether they're a value add, or maybe you want to build your own apartment buildings. We're going to show you how to do that. We're going to show you how to do value add like this. This is a 22 unit apartment building that we bought for 1.6 million. It was just reappraised at 3.6 million dollars. This is a lot of the value add type of deals that we used to do, and then we've transitioned into brand new apartment buildings. This is me and my partner Sib. We're buying this brand new apartment building. And so we're going to go through all the mechanics of how you do this and what's important, what you need to do. When you come to that boot camp, you got to come prepared and with an open mind. We're going to go through the market economic drivers. Why would you do any particular deal? Where is best to buy? We're going to go through property management and how to find the resources and where are you going to get the investors and which strategy are you going to apply? Is it going to be buy and hold or value add? 16 units. This was a brand new apartment building we closed in December of 2021. 4.65 million, brand new apartment building, and we're going to show you how to do that. This is the 60 unit apartment building we closed back in 2022, 14.5 million. We raised $4 million. We did it in 48 hours. We're going to show you how to do that. Anybody can do this business. This is that 60 unit apartment building, and there's something about brand new that I love. I love going to a property, watching them pour the concrete. We do the footings. Maybe we frame it, we put the roof on, we put the windows, we start working on the inside, and then you see the end result. It's just incredible. One of the topics that we're going to cover at our Real Estate Investor Accelerator is land development. We're going to go through all the different uh, um, opportunities in land development. And let me just turn this off. And we're going to show you how to develop your own apartment building. Whether you have money or no money, we're going to show you how to do this. Now, what I love about land development is that each step of the way, there's an opportunity for an exit and there's an opportunity to create a lift. You can force the appreciation on that land. So we start with the upzone strategy, bringing that property to the highest and best use. We go to site plan approval, the permitting process, the build out, and then sell or hold. Ultimately, there's lots of profits to be created on the way. And at the same time, there's a lot of opportunity on the way. So when we have the upzone strategy, you take an existing zoning and you upzone it to the highest and best use, which means that you will have the opportunity to gain that forced appreciation. And that could be in the millions. And so we'll talk about how to do that when you come to our event. So myself and my partner, we want to build about 1,000 units using the MLI Select program. And we're going to go through this 52 unit case study. I don't have a lot of time to go through it today, but when you come to that boot camp, I'm going to show you how we built this 52 unit apartment building using the MLI Select program with no money out of our pockets. So um, I think you'll want to come for that. This is Mullen. Mullen loved the strategy of building apartment buildings using the MLI Select program. Even with the increase in premiums and all the changes and nuances, well, we still have a way to make this work. And so Mullen loved it. He came to the boot camp back in 2023. I went to visit him at his 59 unit apartment building, and he loves this strategy. This is Oliver and Gabriel, 18 and 19 years old. They came to the boot camp and they were coachable and shortly after from coming in to that boot camp and learning from that boot camp, I got this text. Sir, you've officially changed our life. Behind us is a 12 unit apartment building we just bought in Montreal yesterday. So it comes back to belief. The reason why we share those case studies with you is so you can now adopt that belief that if they can do it, if an 18 and 19-year-old could do it, you could do it too. This is Roger Bannister. Roger Bannister ran the 4 minute mile in 1954. He actually broke the record and ran the mile under 4 minutes when up to that point people said it cannot be done. Shortly after, when other people started to hear this news, they started breaking the record. And months after, dozens of people started breaking the record. And since then, thousands and hundreds of thousands of people have broken this record. What was the difference before 1954 to after 1954? Guess what? People's belief had changed. They knew that someone had done it before. And so if other people can do it, why can't you? If other people are going to be taking action and taking their business to the next level during these next 3 months, why can't you? The only difference is that you have to be willing to do the things that other people are not willing to do today so you can live the kind of life that other people wish they had tomorrow. And tomorrow, people will say, you're lucky. And so, a little bit about me. I came to Canada as a refugee. This is a picture of me. I started my business in 1995 during a recession. It was a clothing business, and it was incredible that I gotten up. I gotten to that point where at 17 years old, I opened my very own business. You know, uh, before that, I didn't do well in school. I actually I actually dropped out of high school at 15 years old and I left home. I've spent some time on the streets. So I lived on the streets, slept on the streets, panhandled for change. I was actually really, really lost. And I had a life-changing moment when I was 17 years old, right before I opened my business. I became a father. I was a teenage parent, and for the very first time in my life, I discovered purpose. For the very first time in my life, I stopped blaming the world for my problems and I started to take responsibility over my own life. And it changed the trajectory of my entire life. I became extremely determined. I went back to school. I started that business, and that's how I ended up with this business. And I've never looked back since. The issue was that at 24, I realized that I needed to create an Armageddon proof type of business. And that's how I got into real estate. Back in, early, almost in the year 2000, I got into real estate and, I wanted to create a business, a second stream of income that was indestructible. And so when I look at these faces, I want to conquer the universe. And that's why I do this. And, you guys, if you find yourself, trying to figure out why you want to do this, I want you to look deep because if you understand why you want to do something, you're going to be moving towards it. So, remember the boot camp? Well, that boot camp is waiting just for you. And I'm looking forward to meeting you at one of these boot camps, any one of them. We're going to be learning how to invest into real estate. We're going to be learning how to do it with other people's money. how to create partnerships, how to create corporations, how to create joint ventures, how to syndicate a particular deal. We're going to show you multifamily, how to invest in multifamily, how to build your own multifamily, how to create value add opportunities in multifamily. We're going to show you how to take everything you're learning and bring it to anywhere across Canada and even in the US. We're going to show you how to raise millions and millions of dollars, and we're going to go through the BRRRR strategy. Um, we're going to go through, investing in real estate, underwriting. We're going to show you how to understand this business. We're going to go through fundamentals. We're going to show you how to buy existing real estate. We're going to show you how to buy brand new apartment buildings. We're going to show you how to do land development. We're going to show you how to use the MLI Select program and build your own apartment buildings. We're going to show you how to build apartment buildings and sell them and make millions of dollars. If you are interested in this business, this boot camp is for you. It's changed the lives of thousands of people, and why not you? And so, when we're talking about an intensive event just like this, $1,900 is really, you're not scaring anybody with it. But we do have an offer right now, which is 387 with the promo code Cuadra. If you use Cuadra, you will get the discounted amount. And I shared that with you earlier. $87 for two people. $87 for two people. You can't go wrong. You absolutely cannot go wrong. And so you're going to get a 3-day intensive training. You can use the QR code right now. And I just want to say, guys, um, congratulations for all the people that have bought tickets right now. Congratulations. We're going to see you in Vaughan. I see some people bought tickets for Montreal. I see some people bought tickets for the virtual event in Edmonton. So, congratulations, guys. Can't wait to meet you in person. I will personally be at those events. I will personally be there. We're not sending another trainer. I will personally be there. So, you're going to get a 3-day intensive training with me. You're going to get my 20-step walkthrough checklist. You're going to get, so we're going to bring professional real estate investors on site. You're going to get a personal strategy session and a portfolio analysis, and you're going to leave there with a 90-day action plan. You're going to get 2 workbooks, plus you're going to be able to bring a free guest, all for $87. $87 is unreal. Basically, what we've done is we've taken out any barrier that was in front of you. This is a QR code. Scan it, save it, do whatever it is that you need to do, but do not miss this opportunity because it won't come again. Like I told you, the next 3 months in real estate are crucial, and they will be looked back in hindsight as the time where we saw the most opportunity. Currently, we're going through the biggest wealth transfer in human history. The question that you want to ask yourself is, on what side of that wealth transfer do you want to be on? So we got these incredible events. Um, it expires in 48 hours. We're going to Edmonton on the 3rd. We have a virtual event that starts on the 7th, Vaughan on the 10th, Montreal on the 17th, and Surrey on the 24th. If you can't make one of the days, don't worry, but try your best. Tell your boss you can't make it, or I don't know. Do whatever you got to do, but you have to make these events. It's too important. It's too important. And so if you are going to come, make your way. And if you can't come to any one of these events, come virtually. Come to the virtual event starts next week. And I would love to see you there. All of these events I will be there at. And there's one in November. We'll open up the chat box in just a moment, but if you want to get the November link, we'll put the link also in the chat box in just a moment if you don't have access to that. But we're going to go through a 3-day intensive, joint ventures, land development, raising capital. We're going to go through all of this stuff. and you're going to come out the other side having a good idea on how to get started in multifamily. It doesn't matter if you have no money. It doesn't matter if you have money but no time. It doesn't matter if you have time but no credit. It doesn't matter if you have credit, but we can help you. Whatever your circumstances, you can get started because I got started in even worse circumstances than anybody I think here could describe. So, $1,900, 387, and you already know $87 for two people for an event like this is just wild. So, there's always questions that people have when we talk about these boot camps. And while you're getting your tickets, I can just go through some of the questions that we have. In fact, you know what? Let me see here. I could probably open it up to some questions. See if you guys have some. Let me see here. Okay, I think that's how it works. Yeah. Um, so as you were coming in, I've opened up the chat box. Congratulations to everybody that bought tickets. That's incredible. I can open it up for some questions if you have them. I'll throw this back up here. One of the questions that we always get is, what if I have no money and I can't you know, we're just you have a job. What if you have a job? How do you invest in real estate? Well, you can always use the time outside of the job. I always tell people, forget about the side hustle. Make the real estate your hustle. Sometimes people want to know, are we going to learn how to raise money in this boot camp? And the answer is absolutely yes. You're going to learn how to raise money, and we're going to show you how to work with other people's money. If you have money, it's great. The resources are great, but if you have no money and you're just getting started, if you've never invested in your life, this boot camp is for you. If you're seasoned and you have been doing this a while, this boot camp is for you. I have an event question. Is there an email to reach anybody? Okay, cool. Um, Ed, would you do me the favor of, so Ed is my business partner. He's in the background here. He'll put it in the chat box um, about the events. So he'll put, yeah, info at wealthgenius.ai. Perfect. Info at wealthgenius.ai. Yes. So feel free to ask your questions. Sometimes people want to know, well, if I am, what if I want to go to the event, but I'm kind of far away, or I'm like 2 hours away or whatever. Well, guys, get in a car or fly or do whatever you got to do to get here. Okay. Let me see here. Are you saying anyone can buy an apartment building? And the answer is yes. The question from Apollo. I like that name, by the way, Apollo. That's a cool name. Yes. As long as you are willing to learn, the what's keeping you from already doing it is the lack of knowledge. Obviously, you have to build the confidence, but we're going to show you how to do this building, how to do this business. Here's some private DMs that people send privately here. I'm currently renting. How can I buy a building? Perfect. The thing we talked about earlier is that when you go and qualify for your own personal house, you have to qualify based on your debt to income ratio. When you qualify for an apartment building, they're looking at the DCR, the debt coverage ratio. Of course, it'll take you into consideration, but they're mostly focused on the asset. So that is, you can invest in multiple deals. Um, Here's another one. How can I be an investor if I have a full-time job if it takes time? Yeah, like I was saying before, um, you could you could simply use the time that you have on the side to learn this business, and at some point you transition from your side side gig of being a real estate investor, and that becomes your full-time job. I'm currently renting. Oh, no, I answered that. And will you show us how to run the numbers? Absolutely. We're going to show you how to underwrite. We're going to show you how to look at opportunities. And especially right now, and especially in the GTA area, there is so many opportunities. It's incredible. So I'm so happy that I got to spend this time with you guys. Use the QR code, you know, 48 hours, it's there, use it. I can't wait to see you at one of our events. I'm gonna unshare this here. And the last thing I'm gonna leave you guys with is very simple. The secret to life is simply in raising your standards. Demand more of yourself than anybody else because it's your life. And so be willing to take action when you have to take action. Be determined and be willing to do the things that other people are not willing to do today so you can live the kind of life that other people wish they had tomorrow. My good friends, Alfonso loves you. Thank you so much for this evening, and we'll see you all at the top. Congratulations to everybody that bought tickets.